Stay tuned.
Straight ahead on News 10 at 11, thousands of embattled New Yorkers look for hope in the house that Ruth built, and a legendary musician remembered for his skill and legacy.
Coming up, weather, get ready. A pretty good storm is heading this way for later tomorrow.
Join us next on News 10. A Capital Region man used to raising thousands of dollars for people with disabilities turns his attention toward the terrorist attacks. The story next on News 10. New Yorkers gather at Yankee Stadium for a chance to overcome last week's attacks. Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Ammerman. The service in New York City was called A Prayer for America, with nearly every major religion represented. It was a day marked with emotion and, of course, new developments into the investigation and America's response. Secretary of State Colin Powell says the U.S. will be able to issue a report linking Osama bin Laden to the terrorist attacks. For the second time, the FBI has grounded crop dusting planes out of what it says is an abundance of caution. An opposition group to the Taliban in Afghanistan claims it's captured a key district, killing 80 Taliban militia fighters. Meanwhile, workers at Ground Zero have uncovered a 10-foot-long piece of jet fuselage, though they're still searching for the plane's black boxes. We understand pictures of the flight recorders have been posted around the rubble. For the very latest, we go to John Berman in New York City.
I'm standing on the edge of New York's Union Square, which has served as a sort of unofficial gathering point for people to come around the clock to say a prayer or light a candle for those lost at the World Trade Center. Earlier today, there was a more official gathering for thousands of people at Yankee Stadium.
We're going to be the same.
Yankee Stadium has seen more joy and celebration than just about any park in America. But instead of the roar of the crowd, came the sounds of prayer and reflection.
We saw heroism bring Ground Zero into the heavens.
The service, called A Prayer for America, was held to honor the thousands feared dead in the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center. It was an interfaith service with prayers from Catholic, Jewish, and Muslim leaders. There was entertainment, too. Songs from Placido Domingo, Lee Greenwood, and Bette Midler.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be.
She sang of heroes in a city where hundreds of police and firemen have redefined the term. In the stands where people wore the familiar colors of red, white, and blue, thousands of faces wore the now familiar looks of pain, loss, and sorrow. There were other services nearby. Ray Charles entertained thousands in New Jersey.
America, sweet America.
As others sang and prayed, rescue workers continued to dig. Crews did uncover a section of one of the airplanes, though they have yet to find any of the so-called black boxes. The official toll of those missing at the World Trade Center rose again to 6,453. While officials still say they hope to find survivors, they acknowledge they will be lucky to find bodies at this point. There were some empty seats at Yankee Stadium, a sign perhaps that some people were reflecting on their own, or maybe that people were beginning to move on with their lives, which some officials say might be the best way of all to remember those who were lost. This is John Berman live in New York. Now back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Locally, today a morning memorial for members of the fire, police, and EMS communities, and another quickly planned fundraiser, both with a distinctly blue tone. News 10's John Craig has our story from Albany.
Sheila and Jim Jordan of New Scotland Avenue in Albany normally go out to breakfast on Sundays.
It's a hodgepodge. I took one of everything right down the line.
It's a specialty.
It's good, too.
Pancakes and pastry for cash in hand. A little bit of everything in a room adorned in red, white, and especially blue. A fundraiser for victims and families from September 11th.
There's a lot of need down there. Albany's a good area.
That same show of support, and plenty more blue, at St. Mary's Church for a morning memorial service for police, fire, and EMS, complete with fire helmet near the altar.
Each day, you make yourselves selflessly available.
He knows both of Bishop Hubbard's grandfathers were firefighters. After the show of fellowship, some congratulations outside, and a few moments for firefighter Michael Dunn and his family. He's been with the fire department for a year, the same age as his son.
I want to thank everybody because they've been so great to all of us. You drive down the street and people are clapping for us and thumbs up, and just everybody sticks together.
Similar thoughts from this veteran of 12 years with his 7-month-old Ethan.
It just makes us feel proud to do something like this for the people of New York.
We'll be out there today doing the same job that they did yesterday and the same job they're going to do tomorrow.
So the men and women in blue, whether they're wearing a patch that says police or fire on their arm, say they have felt a renewed spirit around the Capital District. In Albany, John Craig, News 10.
Final tally at the breakfast, over $8,700. Last week, the traditional boot drive took in $45,000, and all the proceeds going to the victims' families. Well, it appears some people aren't helping raise money for the victims in New York City. They're stealing it. In Columbia County, police have arrested 3 men for allegedly stealing money that was being raised at a grocery store for disaster relief in New York. According to police, the robbers stole over $100 on Friday night. The owner of the D&D grocery in Hudson tells authorities most of the money was donated by neighborhood youths. Hudson police arrested 21-year-old Eugene Cobbins and 20-year-old Dale San Carlos, both of Hudson. Also, 23-year-old Eugene Banks of Jewett under arrest tonight. The 3 have been arraigned on charges of petty larceny and conspiracy and are being held in the Columbia County Jail. Well, tomorrow brings all members of Congress back to Washington. That includes Green Island's Mike McNulty. He points out that citizens of 80 other countries were killed in the attacks in New York, Washington, and Pennsylvania, and the response needs to be for justice, not revenge.
But one thing for sure is, if we do not respond to this terrorist threat, these things will happen again, and these things cannot be allowed to happen again on our soil or anywhere else in the world.
Well, there's another sign that things are getting back to normal. The official national period of mourning for victims of September 11th's attacks has ended. President Bush ordered all flags to be raised from half-staff. Once again, flags are flying full staff across the country, including right here in Albany. It's a look at the Capitol building. Still ahead here on News 10 at 11, we'll find out what's in store in the weather department. And a legendary career comes to an end. We'll look back a little later.
News 10 is sponsored by Raymore and Flanagan Furniture. Just ahead on News 10, your exclusive Doppler weather forecast. Steve Ammerman, Melissa Sander with Doppler weather, and John Spadafora on sports. You're watching News 10 at 11.
Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo in for Melissa, and I guess we have a cool down in store.
Yeah, cool down back to normal, and we've had some great weather this month of September. A lot of good weekends this year. In fact, over the past 4 weeks, I think we're 4 for 4.
How do we luck out?
We'll probably pay the price in October.
I know.
You know, it's only a matter of time. Let's check the temperature outside right now. It's a nice night, 59 degrees, dew point at 56. No wind, and still relatively dry for the month of September. It's been dry for about 2 months here in the Capital District. High 76, low 53. The record high 92, record low 32, 1963. As I mentioned, we've had some unusual weather, weekend weather. It seems like at least one day on the weekend you have cloudy weather with at least the threat of some rain, but not the case during this month of September. Take a look at this. We've gone through some of the weather records, and we've had 3 nice weekends in a row. The 8th and 9th, we had 2 days in the mid-80s, 86 both Saturday and Sunday, 97% sun that weekend. The next weekend, the 15th and 16th, the high was 67 and 72, not quite as warm, but 100% of the sunshine. And this weekend we had temperatures in the mid to upper 70s with an average amount of sunshine for the 2 days about 70%. So a little bit unusual, but hey, we'll take it. It's kind of bonus weather when you get to late September. Take a look at Umberto, 150 miles west-northwest of the island of Bermuda. You can see how it's actually making a little bit of a pivot to the northeast, but winds have increased to 100 miles per hour, but the National Hurricane Center does anticipate it to turn more off to the north and northeast away from New England. So that is good news. Off to the west, we find quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity. This is the back edge of Umberto spinning well south of New England. High pressure protecting us through tonight into tomorrow morning. Take a look at the radar. Some big thunderstorms late this afternoon, parts of Ohio and Indiana. This rain will probably hold off until very late in the day tomorrow. 61 here, down to 48 at Saranac Lake, 60 at Poughkeepsie, 71 New York City, 64 as you head over towards Boston's Logan Airport. 52 Glens Falls, 53 at Bennington, low 50s North Adams and Pittsfield. Poughkeepsie 59, and Utica's temperature tonight at 57. National Weather Map, this is a sizable storm for this time of year. It's like a very slow track off to the east and northeast, dragging down some pretty chilly air behind it. So the trend for this week will be for considerably cooler weather, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday. So tomorrow we expect at least some sun for a while first thing in the morning. Get up early, and you'll have the best chance at seeing some sunshine. Then late in the day, these showers will be approaching us, and it looks like the heaviest rain will fall tomorrow night into the first half of Tuesday as this huge upper-level low just sits and spins and eventually drifts slowly east. So that means the heaviest rains by Wednesday will be shifting east, and then in comes the cool, showery weather on Thursday, but it won't be a heavy rain like tomorrow night. Forecast, partly cloudy, low to mid-50s tonight. Some sun first thing tomorrow morning, the chance of showers late in the day. So most of tomorrow should be okay, 70 to 75. Rain, possibly heavy, maybe even some thunder tomorrow night, 57 to 62. And for Tuesday, the wettest part of the day will be during the morning, high 63 to 68. Vermont and the Berkshires, partly cloudy, near 50 tonight. Some early day sun tomorrow, some showers towards evening tomorrow, 70 to 75. 5-day forecast, a mix of clouds and sun Wednesday, slight chance of a shower, 65. A better chance of a few showers, very cool Thursday, 61. And Friday, partly cloudy, and 64. So I think we'll salvage a good chunk of tomorrow until late afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much, Steve. Coming up here on News 10 at 11, a fundraiser with an Irish touch honors a hero from the terrorist attacks. Also, one of the world's greatest musicians is remembered for more than just his talent. As we first told you last night, violinist Isaac Stern died from heart failure in New York City yesterday. The legendary musician was 81. But he'll be remembered not only for his great talent, but also for his legacy. Isaac Stern, wrote one critic, played with unflagging rhythm and tempos on the fast side. That's also how he lived his life, in one city that could match his fast tempos, New York. Though raised in San Francisco, when he played New York City's Carnegie Hall at 23, he found his natural home in Manhattan's many cultural cross-currents.
He is a dynamo of applied energy.
Teaching, always teaching, and mentor to generations of talented young ones, such as Yo-Yo Ma and Itzhak Perlman.
Bravo! Bravo! Isaac's music can be heard not only from his own bow, but from the bows of dozens of young musicians he has helped to promote.
He fought for human rights and artistic freedom. He played around the world, from Chicago to China, and when Carnegie Hall was going to be knocked down for office blocks, no way, he said, and raised millions to save it.
It's a place that once you have come to belong, then the world accepts you. It has been that way, and it will be that way.
So abundant, the talent of Isaac Stern, it overflowed as he poured his soul into institutions, into his students, and especially into his violin. Great talent will be missed. Coming up here on News 10 at 11, your live lottery drawing. And then food lovers converge on the North Country for some tasty treats.
Tonight's lottery drawing is sponsored by your Upstate Ford dealers.
Hope you have your Take 5 ticket ready, because it's time for tonight's live lottery drawing.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Kim Beattie. Welcome to Sunday, September 23rd's Take 5 drawing, being observed by an auditor from KPMG. There were 4 first prize winning tickets worth over $29,000 each in last night's Take 5 drawing. Wednesday's lotto jackpot is now $15 million. Tonight's winning Take 5 numbers are 7, 37, 15, 3, and 19, making tonight's winning Take 5 results 7, 37, 15, 3, and 19. Take care, New York. Good night, everybody.
And here are your other winning lottery numbers. The New York Daily is 387. The win for numbers 6382. The Mass Daily 3224. And the Northern New England Pick 3 numbers 466. And the Pick 4s 7336. In Menands today, local Irish bands got together at Ammerman's Pub to honor a hero, Father Michael Judd. Judd was killed when he went to the scene of the World Trade Center to minister to the firefighters as their chaplain. So bar owner Eamon McGurr organized the fundraiser for a scholarship in the name of the priest who once worked at Siena College. Bands such as the McCrells and Hair of the Dog lent their musical talent to the event. And in New Scotland, residents gathered for an interfaith prayer service and a rally. The event included booths where concerned citizens could sign up to help rescue workers in New York City and also donate supplies to those efforts. Songs and prayers also helped residents come to grips with the attack 2 weeks ago. Well, from chicken wings to chicken things and dishes of all kinds this first full day of fall. Flavors of all kinds in Glens Falls at the City Park for the annual Taste of the North Country. Also included our own Terry McSweeney, who's part of the fun, actually dipping into the mixing bowl. Good for Terry. People had a little of this and a little of that, and some even admitting they had dessert before their main course. Can't fault them. There's plenty to choose from.
I'm having shrimp and scallops with vanilla sauce.
Vanilla sauce, yeah.
It's
and
excellent.
biscotti.
I'm eating potato and garlic soup from Chez Pierre, and it's delicious.
I got the chicken kebab thing.
The beef tenderloin, and it's got rosemary in the middle of it. It's very good. Would you like to try some?
Okay, I'm not hungry for a midnight snack. How about you? Over the past 8 years, the festival's brought in more than $170,000 for the Kiwanis Club. Well, home runs aplenty in baseball this afternoon. We've got a number of them to show you, plus the Stars and Stripes in a sea of green as pro football returns. Sports is next.
News 10 returns in a moment with the Capital Region's best sports coverage.
The man that can do everything here at News 10, John Craig, in for John Spadafora. And now you're in the sports chair. You're amazing.
Can we frame that? That's good.
We can. It'll be a little review, you know, in the newspaper tomorrow.
This morning we were talking about heroes. I met some real heroes, you know, the men and women in blue. And now we're talking sports, which sometimes...
Put in perspective.
Heroic, right. Yeah, it didn't matter what color your team jersey was. Everyone was wearing the Stars and Stripes today, whether it was at a memorial service or an NFL game, which took an understandable week off. And true to form, football fans were back at their favorite watering hole, like this one in Schenectady. The Sports World Tavern and Grill had games on and the bar stools all filled, trying to catch some of the action and all understanding sports' place in life. And one of the games they caught, the Jets and New England.
But through the night, you're able to look towards the shore and you can still see the Stars and Stripes flying in the breeze. And in the morning...
How'd you like to meet him on the Mass Pike? Dan Clark, a Massachusetts state trooper, getting the crowd all fired up before the Jets and Pats. And on the Jets helmets, a decal of the Twin Towers. Would the Pillars help? 3-3 at the half. In the third quarter, Curtis Martin with an 8-yard run squeaks on through, and the score. He had 106 yards on 24 carries on the day. Jets up 10-3. In the fourth, Drew Bledsoe, driving the troops, hits Troy Brown for 58 yards and a lot of time left. He takes it to the 10-yard line, knocked out of bounds. But 3 plays later, linebacker James Farrier steps in the way of a Bledsoe pass. Who was he throwing it to? He returns it 47 yards. Bledsoe had 2 picks and left the game late. The Jets win 10-3. The Giants were on the road today in the heartland, the Show Me State. But it may have seemed like home. The mayor of Kansas City proclaimed the day New York Day. Here, the order of the day, lots of red, little white, of course, big blue. Second quarter, Giants up 3-0. Ron Dane bulls his way in from 7 yards out. The G-men take a 10-0 lead into the locker room. Signal caller Trent Green couldn't direct the offense for the Chiefs very well. He was picked off by Sean Williams, or was that James Ferrier too? Morton Anderson added a late field goal. Giants win 13-3, and here's the head coach, literally.
I said the hats I gave you for the PD and the fire department, the Port Authority, I said wear them with respect. Wear them front and center, no to the side, wear them with respect to the people that wear those hats. And I said just go out and fight, play hard like your fans in New York would expect.
And they did. In Indianapolis, the Bills on the road. First quarter, Peyton Manning finds Nate Clements of the Bills. He returns it 48 yards and an early lead for Buffalo. Later in the first, a flea flicker to a wide-open Jerome Pathan, 60 yards. The Colts lead 14-7. Move ahead to the second quarter. Manning finds Marvin Harrison, 40-yard strike there. Manning completed 80% of his passes, 421 yards and 4 scores. Colts roll 42-26. Other scores around the league, that's not a misprint. The defending champs lose to the undefeated Cincinnati Bengals, 21-10. I got to laugh, Steve. The Rams in a shootout over the 49ers. Jacksonville rebounds in a defensive struggle and leaves the Titans without a win this season. Jay Fiedler scrambles for a 2-yard touchdown with 5 seconds left. The Finns beat the Raiders. Doug Flutie throws for 353 yards and 2 touchdowns to stay unbeaten, topping Dallas. The Bears over the Vikings, 17-10. The Eagles rout the Seahawks, 27-3. The Falcons top the Panthers. All those teams are on that board, 1-1. Detroit quarterback Ty Detmer threw 7 interceptions. Was he playing for Cleveland? No, he's playing for Detroit. Cleveland wins by 10, and Denver tops Arizona. That game late in the fourth quarter. Now Washington, Green Bay tomorrow right here on Channel 10. To baseball, the Red Sox continue to slide, losers of 16 of the last 20. The Tigers beat Boston today 12-6. The division-leading Yankees on the road finishing a series with Baltimore. Cal Ripken Jr. in the 5th inning. El Duque on the mound, 2 outs, a 2-run home run. 14th of the year for Ripken. O's now lead 4-0 after this point. Joe Torre, after, of course, an understandable curtain call by Cal Ripken. Joe Torre and Mel Stottlemyre concerned, could they drop 4 in a row? Yankees battle back. 1 in the 6th, then in the 8th. Nick Johnson here with a double down the line. That brings in 2. It's 4-3 Orioles. Move ahead. They tied it in the 9th. Move ahead now to the top of the 10th. John Parrish on the mound for the O's. He walks Bernie Williams, and in comes Nick Johnson, the guy that had such a great night tonight, and they go on to win 5-4 in 10 innings. The Mets at Shea against the Braves, and keeping an eye on another flag, perhaps the pennant. In the third, Joe McEwing gives the Mets a 2-0 lead. A solo shot off of Tom Glavine, and the Mets are off and running. Insurance in the 8th, Tanzil with a run-scoring single. 3-1 Mets. But Armando Benitez lets the Braves back in it in the 9th. Extra innings now. Brian Jordan whacks his 2nd home run of the game. In the top of the 11th, Atlanta wins 5-4. Mets remain 4.5 out. A couple of other notes, especially for director Bob Hill. Barry Bonds continues his search for the single-season home run record. In this 11-2 Giants win in San Diego, that is number 65. Yes, that is number 66. Both off rookie Jason Middlebrook. Yeah, he's going to have some stories about coming up late in the season, huh? Bonds has 12 games left to hit the magical mark of 70. In Houston, Sammy Sosa trying to keep pace. That's 56. That's 57. And that's 58. To the deepest part of Enron Field, a bandbox it is. He's the first player to hit 3 home runs in a game 3 times in a season, but they lost 7-6.
Not for lack of trying.
No, not for lack of trying. 140,000 NASCAR faithful packed the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. Check that car out. Not bad. It's the Cal Ripken Jr. 400. He waved the starter flag, by the way, and then went to play baseball. Ricky Rudd there in the lead was bumped by Rusty Wallace. They had words after the race, as you might imagine. But the checkered flag goes to Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the number 8 car. Heck with the checkered flag. He says, I want Old Glory. He led nearly half the race laps. Second was Jerry Nadeau. Jeff Gordon remains the points leader. And one little note that Dan probably told you at 6. It's the number 8 car, Cal Ripken Jr.'s race. He wears number 8. That's a little bit of trivia, but today was all about celebrating sports, whether you were on any field, the red, white, and blue.
Well, I saw a great sign in one of the football games that says, football has players, America has heroes. Very appropriate.
Proved today in every post-game soundbite that came down on the feeds today, and we're talking about the game, the X's and O's. They were all talking about the atmosphere and things. And how about that Massachusetts State Trooper that started the Jets game?
He was fired up there, wasn't he?
He was fired up.
Okay, thank you, John.
You got it.
For another check of tomorrow's weather, let's go over to Steve.
All right, guys, let's recap the forecast. The best part of the day tomorrow will be during the morning with a little bit of sunshine, but as the morning progresses, clouds will increase from west to east. 55 at Amsterdam, 56 tomorrow morning, Albany, 53 Glens Falls, 48 at Speculator. The rain tomorrow morning out towards Rochester, west of Syracuse, but notice during the afternoon, clouds will be thickening up. And I think very late tomorrow afternoon, after 4 or 5 o'clock, some showers breaking out, mid-70s here, 69 at Speculator, 72 at Amsterdam. 5-day forecast, wet weather through Tuesday morning, and then much cooler weather for the end of the week. In fact, by Thursday, only 61 for a high temperature.
Okay, thank you, Steve. And thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here next weekend.